live. It's Tuesday, February 7th. Sorry if that's a little loud. I think the mic's a little hot. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're doing a little live stream. Jack's saying, why do you always live stream when I'm at the gym? Sorry, Jack. I apologize, my friend. Welcome back to the channel. It's a big day. Well, it's sort of a big day. We got Ant-Man reactions. We got a couple of things to talk about. Possible Super Bowl commercials. Oh my goodness. And of course, whatever questions you have to offer me. I was out of town Sunday and out of town yesterday. So the channel's been a little quiet. I think it's been a little too quiet. It's time to bring it back, baby. And it's time to see if StreamYard's willing to work with me. Remember last time it wasn't putting questions on screen? Well, they're coming through right now. They're coming through at the moment. So let's see if they continue to come through. I want to say thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. And I want to get right into it after I cover some of you guys that are here and talk about some of the Ant-Man reactions. We've got a lot of Ant-Man to talk about. My screening is early next week, barring myself getting called in for jury duty, which is a possibility. If I do not, I will be seeing Ant-Man. I believe it's Monday. I think the day is Monday. But right now, we're going to talk about some of these first reactions on Twitter. I want to go and see what you guys are doing in the chat. We already have one super chat from Ian, Stumbo's media outlet, and we'll get to that here in just a second. Want to make time for it. But I want to see some of you guys in the chat. Yo, what's going on? Recorded Entertainment, 8:30 in France. Of course, Jack saying, always at the gym when I go live. Apologies. 9:30 in South Africa. Very, very cool. I needed this break during work. I'm glad I could provide you a break. Tuesday at 2:30. It's a random time, but it's the time that I was free. It's the time that I had available. So hopefully you guys that are working and doing other things, I can distract you from that for a few minutes. But if it's important, focus on that. Yay, I made a live stream. Tina T, thanks for being here. Thanks for everybody for being here at this very random time. We have 2035 in Chechnya. Oh, very cool. We got a lot of people here from a lot of different places. 11:35 in Los Angeles time, officially 3 hours before me. What do we got? 3:35 in Puerto Rico, 22:35 in Turkey. And of course, Turkey dealing with everything they are dealing with. My goodness, my heart goes out to everyone in that part of the country. But listen, we have a super chat. We have some people in the chat. Robert is fired up today. Anakin Skywalker says, don't mind me. I just saw some sand. Listen, Anakin. Anakin with the long. Ooh, Anakin does not like sand. 136 in Illinois. What we got? 736 in Ireland. Fashionable changeling. We know where you're at, pal. Do you work in the film industry full time and do this in your spare time? No, Thomas Allen. No, I do not. I actually do this more than I do anything else, but I do. There we go. I do things on the side. Very special and secretive things, but no, this is what I focus on as of 2 years ago, and I love it, and I love doing it. Can't wait for Quantumania. Jed Parker already getting down to it. Hey, let me know, guys. I think there's a little lag on my end. If there is a lag on your end, please let me know what it looks like. Let me know if the stream is coming across properly, if you guys can see everything. But as of now, things look okay on my end. Let's see what we got here. We've got one super chat. We'll get to that super chat here in just a second. No lagging. Thank you so much, my friend. Thomas, thanks for being here once again. And the question, watching from London. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Mike said 8:30 in Narnia. Listen, I wasn't aware what the Narnia time was, but it's nice to see that there's a massive time difference down to the minute. There's a 7-minute difference between here and Narnia. That's fascinating. All right, guys, got a couple questions already. A couple when we first went live. What is your favorite popcorn tin? I got a lot of popcorn tins. Still in the Airbnb. Don't have a lot of them with me. I've got 2 with me, and this is my decoration, all right? We've got the Batman popcorn tin, which I absolutely love, okay? But the other one that I have with me is one that I feel as if it's just slightly more special, and that's the Top Gun Maverick popcorn tin. Mostly because I got this one at the movie, okay? I got this one from a friend because I missed out on the opportunity, and that friend came through. So, Jacob, you know who you are if you're watching right now. Thank you so much for that popcorn tin. Ian with the very first super chat of the day. Ian, my friend, my pal, thanks for being here. I may have a screening in Columbus at some point. I'll let you know. I'll let you know if I ever need a guest. But listen, thanks everybody for being here. Again, random time. Not a lot of people here today. So if you want to drop a like on this video, that would be more beneficial than ever because it's less people. But the more likes, the more people we will get. And of course, we're going to talk about Ant-Man, some reactions. I'm just letting it fill in just a little bit more. Ian says, hey, Austin, you Marvel shill supporting yourself with Disney money. This is my Disney check for the day. Ian, thanks for the Disney check. I appreciate it. What do you think of this AMC news? Theaters that should be trying to bring more people in. Take care, my friend. Hope you are well. Yeah, I'm of two minds on the AMC news. And if you guys didn't see it, they are doing different prices for different seating, which is interesting. Oftentimes you don't see that in the movie theater. You see that with different things, with the football game, with a concert, right? So this is uncharted territory. I didn't love it off the bat. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, as long as the price difference isn't massive, it isn't like $6 more here and $3, it's fine. But at the same time, again, you, like Ian says, you're wanting to bring new people to the theater. You're wanting it to be something that a lot of people want to show up to. And if the prices are different to sit in better seats, I'm sitting here going, what are you doing? What are you trying to do here? What's the end goal? I don't love it. Okay, so the more I thought about it, the less I thought, okay, I see what you're doing. I see what they're trying to do. I don't love the idea, but hey, I don't have an AMC within 2 hours of me. Hour and a half. I don't have an AMC within an hour and a half of me, so I don't go to the AMC, so I don't have to worry about it. We used to have an AMC in town, and they actually just tore that building down. The worst theater I've ever been to. So I had a bad image of what AMC was until I actually went to a nice one in Cincinnati, Ohio. And the second I went to a nice one, I said, oh, okay, well, this is what AMC is supposed to be. What was in my hometown was garbage. And they tore it down. So I think they agreed that it was garbage. Okay, let's get back to it. Ian, thanks again. Thanks again for the super chat. We got the super chat. Let's see who all's in here. And this is lagging a little bit on my end, but I'm going to try to get to as many things as I can here. 57 people. We're growing. We're getting bigger. That's what. Should I do that on a live stream? I don't want to get myself. You guys can get me in the chat. I deserve it. What's better in your opinion? She-Hulk or Morbius? Two fantastic projects when you ask me. Oh, boy. Oh, man. I guess if I had to choose between the two in terms of quality, I guess I would say She-Hulk is technically better, right? But, I don't think either are very good whatsoever. I think the lead performances are good with both. But, I don't. Well, what I say that Jared Leto was fine. Matt Smith's where that's where it's at in Morbius. Okay, that little dance that he does. But Tatiana Maslany is actually really good in She-Hulk, so that's kind of where I would give the edge. All right, we've got 80 for Brady. Let's try not to spam in the chat, just so other people have a chance. So 80 for Brady. Thank you so much. I have not watched it yet, and do I plan on watching it? At some point, but let's try not to spam in the chat. Keep other people from doing things. Are you going to go watch Cocaine Bear? You going to go watch Cocaine Bear? Yes, I plan on watching Cocaine Bear. I also plan on going to Cocaine Bear in real life. It's actually in my city, the city that I live. We are lucky enough. We are blessed enough. God has given us the gift of a stuffed cocaine bear. I kid you not. So guess where I'm doing my intro for that video? I'm going to go find Cocaine Bear in Lexington, Kentucky. And I'm going to do an intro in front of Cocaine Bear. And I'm going to drag my pregnant wife to film that intro of me in front of Cocaine Bear. Listen, she should be relaxing. She should be, she's got to go to work. But other than going to work, she should come home, be able to rest, sleep. We're getting excited. We're getting all pumped for the baby. No, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to say, you're going to get your butt in that car and you're going to film me in front of a stuffed bear. That's what you're going to do. And she's going to like it. She's not watching, so she can't make fun of me. She will, but she can't. All right, let's see. Let's see here, guys. We got another super chat. We'll get down to it here in just a jiffy. DC or Marvel? I love both. DC DC Comics, Marvel movies at this point, but let me tell you, I like the direction that DC's going, and we got the Batman 2 coming. We've got a new universe. Don't know how that universe is going to go, but I like the trajectory, so let's see what happens. But again, DC Comics, outstanding. What did you think of the Batman Part 2 title? You know, it's good enough. I don't really know if I expected anything, if I expected a subtitle. Freeze your buns. Batman Icy Quakes. Batman Snow Cap. I don't know. I'm just expecting Mr. Freeze for some reason. But part 2's fine. Yeah, I'm pumped for the movie, though. I really am. Hey, Austin. Hope all is well, my friend. Thoughts on The Last of Us so far, Brian? I am loving it. I meant to do a little short because I've done 2 YouTube shorts on The Last of Us. I meant to do another one last night. Didn't do it. Got some things happened, some family things. Wasn't able to do a video. I'm sorry, the night before last. Wasn't able to do a video on The Last of Us, but you know, I'm digging it so far. I think it's a great show. I've loved every episode. This last week's episode, you know, I'm expecting big things. I'm expecting big things from episode 5. I really am. So great show so far. It's going to get a really high rating if it keeps it up. Let's see here. And we're going to get to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I kind of want to hit that 70 threshold on the people watching. And the people liking the live stream, man. You guys are rocking and rolling. We're at almost 70 views, and we're at almost 40 likes. That ratio is glorious. You guys are glorious. Thanks for being awesome, man. I really appreciate it. Again, random time on a Tuesday, 2:45. Austin, what are you doing? I don't know. I had some free time. But we've hit that 70 threshold, so you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a look at the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania tweets, the first reactions to Ant-Man and the Wasp here in just a bit. Let's see who else is joining the chat today. Jed says, can't wait for Oppenheimer. You and me both, pal. I think 2023 could be Christopher Nolan's year at the Oscars. Let's hope so. I am crossing my very skinny Madison, my wife calls them Skeletor fingers, which has the best movie, DC or Marvel? I'm going to go with DC there. I'm going to go with The Dark Knight. I think that is a spectacular movie. Although Logan, in terms of quality, that's close. I'm a big Infinity War fan. I'm just a big fan of a lot of these more grounded, down-to-earth movies. But movies like Infinity War and Endgame, you know, they have my heart as well. But I'm going to go The Dark Knight for the best movie, the best comic book movie. Man, a rating would be interesting. I haven't done a big comic book movie rating in a while because we've got a new contender in the Batman. So let's see what we got. We've got, are you going to see Magical Mike? I'm going to see Magic Mike Part 3 on Thursday. I'm going to see that and probably have a review for you guys Friday morning, if I had to guess. Let's see. Isaac says, hey, Austin, happy to be here. Happy for you to be here, Isaac. What do you think about Kevin Costner leaving Yellowstone? I'm sad. I'm disappointed. I haven't really looked up the story that in-depth, that detailed just yet, so I'm not entirely sure the overall reasoning. Okay, but I love Yellowstone. I think it's a great show, and I know they're thinking about bringing McConaughey in. Okay, all right, that's interesting. Watching from, we've got, sorry, missed your question. Watching from Lebanon, just wanted to ask, what should we know and watch before the Ant-Man upcoming movie? Muhammad, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to talk about the reaction here in just a second. If I had to guess, and this is just a guess, I would say the first 2 Ant-Man films, and I would say the Loki TV show, because that was our first appearance with Jonathan Majors. So you watch Loki, you watch the first 2 Ant-Men. I have a feeling you're going to be pretty caught up at that point. You know, obviously, you're kind of want to be, you need to be caught up on Marvel as a whole. But if you don't have that kind of time, because who does at this point, I would say Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man the Wasp, and then Loki to get an idea, at least of the variant of the Kang that we're going to see in this movie. Okay. Oh, one more super chat, guys, before we get into little Ant-Man and the Wasp. And if you guys have specific things about Quantumania, specific Ant-Man and the Wasp questions that you want to start asking, you can go ahead and start asking that now. I'm going to slowly get down and get caught up, and then we'll answer more questions. We'll answer more questions here in a little bit. Ingrid Plaza says, I am frustrated that Mia Goth was not nominated for an Oscar. Will horror ever get Oscar love? I hope so. It's a great question. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the support, the love, all the goodness. I hope so. You know, especially after what she said in that interview, the horror genre needs more love in general. But I think of all these performances, Florence Pugh in Midsommar, Toni Collette in Hereditary, Mia Goth this last year in Pearl. Amazing performances. Amazing. I thought it was just spectacular. So, they deserve every year after year, more love. Will it ever get there? I don't know, but I just it's a toss-up because genre films, it took a long time for them to even remotely consider comic book movies, and they still don't really, but I think Angela Bassett's another win for the genre, to be honest with you. Get Out, but I don't consider Get Out. I think Get Out is a horror sort of, but thriller with a message. It's a horror thriller, but it's not, you're never going to get a spiritual type horror movie or a classic jump scare type film, or then something that dives a bit deeper like Hereditary, but you're still dealing with demonic entities, or Midsommar where we're talking about a cult. I mean, Get Out for me, I understand it is technically in the horror genre, but I think it's much more of a thriller than a horror movie. Get Out's not scary. It's just a fantastic film. So I'm glad they were able to see that. But again, do I consider Get Out pure horror? No, I don't. Let's see. All right, guys, we've got some Ant-Man and the Wasp to talk about. Another great question while I'm pulling this up. What's your favorite thing to watch that is not for the channel? I'm a big Good Mythical Morning fan. I'm a big Rhett and Link fan. I grew up loving Rhett and Link, and nothing has changed. I watch them every single day. So other than sports, I would say Good Mythical Morning is my favorite thing to watch on YouTube. Otherwise, we've got sports. I mean, I'm a big Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so I'm listening to podcasts, fantasy football, all of those things. So let's pull up, and give me 1 second, guys. Give me just a second to pull this up. Okay, I believe this is it. All right. I think we're good. I'm trying to cancel out the ads so I don't get... Oh, here we go. There's a Zoom feature. Perfect. So let's start at the top, and we'll make our way down. And we got the Variety article. We've got, people talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, is that, blah, blah. And normally I don't love looking... Oh, and Mike says Mythical Kitchen. Love Mythical Kitchen. Josh is a beast. He's one of my favorites. And I love his little beef with Gordon Ramsay. I think it's hilarious. Okay. So we've got our first tweets, our first reactions. And again, normally I don't like looking at reactions before I see the movie. I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to go see it on Monday, but I think this is going to be a fun thing for us to do because some of these reactions, at least the ones that I've seen that are real, I'm curious to see if Variety includes the ones that are fake, because there are a lot of fake reactions, which I won't lie, some of them made me laugh. But let's see if we can tell, first of all, if they're real and then where they're leaning. Had a blast, and this is from Jazz T on Twitter, had a blast watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and I'm going to put myself on screen here because I want you guys to see my not beautiful face. Creative, irresistibly energetic, and filled with some great action sequences. Welcome, Jonathan Majors, such a BA. Can I say that on a live stream? I don't know. The effects are superb. So Jazz T. And again, if you guys know if these are fake or not, because there are some fake ones that have been included in some of these articles, please let me know. That's a really positive reaction. A lot of really good things said there. One thing that kind of shocked me there was the effects are superb, right? Because a lot of people's questions from the trailer, are the effects going to work as well as we want them to? And we may even get to it here. Somebody compared this movie to a not as good Thor Ragnarok, but they said it looks better than Love and Thunder. So maybe we'll get to that reaction. So far, we're 1 for 1. That's an extremely positive reaction. And here we go. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania is trying to imagine a Marvel novice. 1 ticket, please. Then getting 2 hours of variant and multiverse talk. Jonathan Majors is great as Kang, and for a good portion of the movie, Michelle Pfeiffer is the main character, which is awesome. I would love to see the rest of this conversation. I don't want to necessarily get us out of this webpage right now, but that's interesting because this tells me, and I know I answered a question a while ago, and I'll stop here in just a second to see what you guys have to say. Somebody asked, well, Austin, what movies do I have to see before Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania? It looks to me like it may be more than just Ant-Man 1, Ant-Man 2, and Loki. it looks to me like this may be a bit confusing for those who aren't all the way caught up on the multiverse speak for Marvel. So that's really interesting. Mike is saying some good things. Michelle Pfeiffer, main character. Jonathan Majors is great. That seems to be the consensus so far. But it looks like it may be a little confusing for first timers. Let's see what you guys are asking. And what did you think of Ant-Man? I haven't seen it yet. I'll answer that Monday evening. Hey, be on the lookout. Monday evening, my reaction. Tuesday morning, my review. Let's see here. We've got more Ant-Man questions. What did you think of the Ant? What did you think of Ant? Ant was great. Was it good? Should I be anxious again? Haven't seen it. We've got Andy with the super chat. We got to get to the super chat. What if Scott Lang is actually an ant disguising himself as a man? That would explain the confusing nature of what Mike is talking about in this tweet, Andy. I guess that is a possibility that I haven't thought about yet. Mike says he's just multiple ants. Did they just hire Josh? Are we talking Mythical Kitchen so they could eat weird stuff on Good Mythical Morning without being completely disgusting? Probably, Jacob. Okay. The effects look great. They use the same technology as The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan. Okay, that's good to know, Jed. I didn't know that. I didn't know they use that technology, and I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but I've seen a lot of movies and TV projects do that as of late. It's really cool. It seems to be somewhat more effective than green screen in some instances, and then in others, maybe not as great, but that's really cool to know. I am excited for the effects. Okay, we've got, seems like Marvel after Endgame is going to be just mediocre. Well, I didn't think Black Panther Wakanda Forever was mediocre. I thought that was good. Doctor Strange fell short of expectations. I would still say it's a good movie. Not as good as I wanted it to be, but still a good movie. Love and Thunder gets worse every time I watch it. Black Widow is Black Widow. I didn't like She-Hulk. I think the TV shows, for the most part, other than Loki and WandaVision, have been a little disappointing. Even Moon Knight. I thought Moon Knight was good. Didn't love it as much as other people. Miss Marvel, I thought that one was okay. I like that one more than some people. But for the most part, I still haven't had that show or movie to really just, boom, here we are. We're back. Post-Endgame, we're Marvel. Wakanda Forever is the closest thing I guess I've gotten recently, and then the year prior, I was a big fan of Shang-Chi. I was a big fan of No Way Home. So those two movies really, really worked for me. But again, No Way Home, it seemed more Spider-Man-centric, less about the Avengers, even though Doctor Strange was there. But it's a Sony project, right? Shang-Chi is what I like about Marvel. New character, fresh, something that's different. I'm hoping Ant-Man can capture that, and we'll scroll down further here in just a second. But I really hope it starts off Phase 5 on a strong note. Ant-Man 3 or Spider-Man No Way Home, about the hype. Oh, Spider-Man No Way Home. I've never been more excited for a movie in the post-Endgame universe than Spider-Man No Way Home, and that'll be hard to top. Maybe Secret Wars, but that'll be hard to top. I really want a He Who Remains versus Kang flashback scene. Oh, that would be great movie, Dean. I would absolutely love to see that. I really would. As long as Secret Wars can top Endgame, it has to. That's going to be a tough task. I don't know if Secret Wars will, but I hope it can. I think there is a chance, right? But I don't know. That's a very tall task. And again, guys, just a quick break before we move on to the next. There's a lot of tweets here that we're going to get to. As always, thanks for all the likes. Thanks for the likes, man, for liking the video. What are we at? 57 likes, 85 people. That's fantastic. That's why more people's joining. And of course, if you guys want to make sure I answer your question at this point regarding Ant-Man, super chat's the way to go. I just appreciate you guys for joining. Let's move on to another tweet and see where we are. Let's see. Sean, Spectacular Sean on Twitter. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania has too much going on. It's tough to connect emotionally to any of it. Jonathan Majors Kang is a charismatic, intense baddie and visually awesome, but the threat he represents is too abstract. Follow at CNET on February 14th, which is the day the embargo lifts. So, again, we have one that seems more negative than even mixed, I would say. Kang, again, we're 3 for 3 on Kang is awesome, but this is a complaint that I've heard a lot, and I've seen a lot on Twitter, and that is there's too much going on. Visually good, great bad guy, a plot that's a little crazy. And I've actually seen some comparisons, people saying a little sci-fi, a little Star Wars, but maybe a little too much of that to where it doesn't have. And I'm somebody who loved the simplicity of the first Ant-Man, to be honest with you. So I love the simplicity of the character. I didn't love Ant-Man and the Wasp. I thought that was a little too, trying to be too silly, but somewhat kept the heart of the first one. It feels like this is taking a drastically different turn. And it feels like not a lot of people are loving that. So I'm curious to see if we fall more on the side of a mixed bag than anything else as I scroll down, and then I'll get to you guys here in just a second. And here's the next. Stephen Weintraub. We got Frosty here. Great critic, analyst, been in the business for a long time. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is a strong start. So here's another positive one. To Phase 5. I now understand why it's called Quantumania. Oh, got the quantum realm. Jonathan Majors is excellent. We're 4 for 4 on Jonathan Majors' love as Kang, and cannot wait to see where all of this goes to after the credits scenes, and both are very good. So, it's really great to talk about the post-credit scenes for me, and I've probably done this before, so slap on the wrist to myself. When you bring that up in a tweet and a reaction, and you don't save it for later on in the tweet or in the thread or this and that, I see a lot of Jonathan Majors love, and I see a lot of, here's why it's Quantumania, and it's a strong start, but why is it a strong start? And I love Frosty, and Frosty will give a great review. Not good or bad, just great writing, because that's who Frosty is. But I'm very curious to see what those post-credit scenes are, but I'm curious to see what his positives actually are regarding the movie. But again, this is just a reaction, so good. So what are we at? 1 negative, 1 mixed, 2 good. So okay, we're pretty good so far. We've got at Jamie Broadnax on Twitter. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania gets some heavy Star Wars vibes. Fantastic performance from Jonathan Majors, who is incredible as the big bad villain. Make sure to stay for the 2 post-credit scenes. So there's another one mentioning post-credit scenes, and there's that Star Wars comparison that I was talking about a little earlier, which is intriguing. Again, not the Ant-Man that we know, but a very intriguing thing to say. So that kind of gets me excited. But the post-credit scenes, now, my brain's all over the place. What does this mean? Is this leading us into Kang's presence in the rest of the universe? That's pretty cool, right? But again, Jonathan Majors seems to be the highlight here. I haven't heard, they've not talked about anybody else. Jonathan Majors. How was Paul Rudd? You know what I mean? Like, I want to see what else is really good about this movie. Star Wars vibes, I can dig it. I can get behind that. Josh says, I love Jonathan Majors, but I hope he's not just known as Kang forever. He will be to the general public. That's just the way it goes. The general public doesn't go and watch a lot of these other movies. But you've also got another big franchise in Creed 3, and I don't know the name of his character in Creed 3, but he could have a couple of big roles like this. I have a feeling he will. And then the film that premiered at Sundance, obviously, which I didn't get a chance to see, but people are always saying a possible Oscar movie for him, at least for a nomination. So he's going to be in enough, to where we're going to know him, film fans, for a long time. And then the general public, it'll be more, okay, that's Kang, but it's a great actor, phenomenal actor. Mike says, Ant-Man versus Spider-Man discuss. Oh, are we talking a fight here, Mike? Are we talking a fight? Or are we talking the movies? Movie-wise, Spider-Man has it all day. Fight. Ant-Man gets big, but we even saw Spider-Man take down Ant-Man in Civil War, and that was before Spider-Man was even, technically, he was still in his origin story phase, because I think that origin story wrapped up in No Way Home. So, yeah, I'd take Spider-Man all day. Even when he gets really big, he'd find a way to take him down. Weave him in a big web, Hey, Kristen Maldonado, thanks for being here. Kristen, we've got, Kristen watched Ant-Man. Okay, here we go. We got some insight. Didn't love it. Some cool moments, but things didn't feel clear with motivations. I'm also getting marveled out. Ooh, Kristen's getting marveled out. You're not alone, Kristen. I think a lot of people, I've seen that complaint. I've seen it over and over again, and I could never be marveled out. I grew up reading comic books. I am a Marvel aficionado, not really, but I'm a Marvel. I could, as much as they want to throw at me, I'm not going to love it all, but as much as they want to throw at me, but even myself last year didn't love She-Hulk. I thought it was a mess. Disappointed with Thor: Love and Thunder. TV shows that didn't live up to the hype. There's just a lot going on. So I think when we get that, 10-month gap between movies after Miss Marvel, I think that gap might be warranted and might help some people with that marveled out feeling. But Kristen did not love Ant-Man and the Wasp. Some cool moments though, which I definitely like to see. Apparently, okay, well, this was in a released clip, so this is not I want to make sure we're not doing spoilers here. Apparently, Kang defeated variants of the Avengers, and I hope we can actually get that in a flashback. Yeah, I don't know if that's actually going to be in the movie. That seems like a big thing to put in Ant-Man. I would say we're going to get it in Secret Wars, but yes, I mean, it's a comic thing. Kang defeated many variants of the Avengers, and in the clip that they just released, he says it. So that's very cool. I don't know if it's going to play an integral role in this story, but it is cool. It's definitely cool to see. Kristen Maldonado, I think Angela Bassett proved that even in a superhero movie, it's possible. Yeah, Angela Bassett, again, such a win for the genre. Right when Marvel was maybe not at its lowest, but it was lower than it usually is, Angela Bassett comes in and says, I can get an Oscar nomination. Glacier Freeze. Has anyone ever figured out what that is? Like what flavor? I don't know. I have no clue. It's blue. Did it come from a glacier? I can't answer that question. So yeah, Angela Bassett's performance in Black Panther was definitely a win. Is Ant-Man live to our expectations? I assume you mean living up to our expectations. Well, let's see. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going. Good question. Jermaine Luce, I believe it's Lucier. I believe it's Lucier. I've seen Jermaine before. Best Star Wars movie since 2018 is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Well, if it's better than Rise of Skywalker, it's not going to take a lot to accomplish that. We'll just say that. It's a huge sci-fi adventure with gorgeous world building that feels almost a little un-Marvel and how much world building there is. But it's got humor, it's got heart. Kang completely rules, and Michelle Pfeiffer steals it. So that's two people praising Michelle Pfeiffer. Everyone praising Kang. What have we seen? 5-6 tweets now? Every single person has said how good Jonathan Majors is in this movie. So that is really cool. Really freaking cool. So I think the thing that people were most excited about in Jonathan Majors is the thing that people are most happy with. And that's awesome. Mike says, reread my super chat. I'm sorry, Mike. I read it wrong. Ants-Man versus Spiders-Man. Discussed. Discuss. Mike, I assume you mean a man. Listen, Mike, when I've got a lot of people in the chat, you can't throw things at me like that, man. I'm going 100 miles a minute. Ants-Man versus Spiders-Man. Discuss. Spiders-Man would win all day long. They would just disassemble and eat all the ants. I'm sorry, Mike. It's a lot going on here, man. It's like there's a lot of questions. All right. Do you think, Robert says, do you think that when Scott Lang eats as an ant, he will still be full as a human? Ooh, gosh. Well, it's kind of like that Flash question, right? Flash has a really fast immune system, so he has to eat a lot. But then, I believe Quicksilver does that as well. But then they really don't expand upon that. Then he just eats normal the rest of the... So, I would say, man, you've stumped me. Robert, you've definitely stumped me with that question, all right? Let's see. Kristen, I grew up collecting comics and even interned at Marvel. There's just so much content now to keep up with. It's overwhelming. It absolutely is, Kristen. That's how I feel with everything. But that's my fault because I try to review everything. And I've actually scaled back. If you guys haven't noticed, I've scaled back on reviewing everything lately because I want to keep my brain in one piece. So I've not done that as much lately. And you know what? I think it has helped me mentally. So that's good. But yeah, in terms of, again, like it's hard for me to not personally, and this is personally, it's hard for me to not love that we are getting Marvel characters on screen. And so, yeah, it is hard. It's tough to keep up with everything. It really is. So, but again, I personally, this is me. I don't mind them just throwing a lot at us. It's just, you're going to get winners. You're going to get losers. And I think I said this after Infinity War. Maybe it was Endgame. But I said, you can't be this good. You can't continue to have hits and wins and hits and wins and hits and wins and just never really have misses. So when they start bringing in TV shows, you're going to start getting some misses. And that's what happened. And you've had some misses. And even in the movie space, you've had more misses. And I thought they had a couple before. I thought Captain Marvel was a miss. I thought Iron Man 2 was a miss. I thought Thor: The Dark World was a miss. But I think they've had more as of late just because of the sheer amount of content. But again, out of every 2 or 3 that are mediocre, not great, you're going to get one that hopefully we get another one that is great. So I hope we get another one that's great, Kristen. I hope Ant-Man's that movie. I'm going to hold out that every movie is going to be that movie. But part of me is like, maybe Ant-Man's more of just kind of a lead into what this phase is. But again, I'm still very excited to see it. Very excited to see it. Let's see. What do we got here? We got Mike. We got Mike laughing at me because of the Ants-Man question. Mike's laughing at me. Okay. It was a hard word. No, it wasn't. All right. Do you like the previous Ant-Man movies? Yes, I like Ant-Man 1 a lot. I think Ant-Man 1 is really, really good. Really good. Again, really good. But then you get into Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's not as good. It's trying to do things. And here's my problem with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I think they did what Toy Story 4 did with Buzz Lightyear. Hear me out. I think Toy Story 4 is a better movie than Ant-Man and the Wasp. But Toy Story 4 dumbed down Buzz Lightyear and kind of made him an idiot. And I don't like that they did that. Ant-Man and the Wasp dumbed down Scott Lang and kind of made him an idiot. And I don't like that they did that. I think Ant-Man is really smart. I think they brightened that back up with Avengers Endgame and made him that smart character that we know and love. Yeah, he's the jokey guy. He's silly. He's corny, kooky, wacky. What's another word? Whoopy. I made that up. But you still got to show us that he's very smart. And he is very smart. So I'm hoping they do that again here. I'm hoping they brighten him back up a little bit. Although I will say, isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that they've not really given us one line of dialogue from the Wasp? I was thinking about this. I've seen every trailer, and we've heard her say like one thing. And I'm like, why is that? Does she just not have a huge role in the movie, which would be disappointing because I think she's really good? I'm trying to figure out why that is. We got Sky saying, cough, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is going to be great. Yes, I hope so. I think it looks great. I think it looks great. I think the Star Wars vibes will be like Kang is the Emperor of the Quantum Realm. Okay, that's a cool comparison, Movie Dean. I like that. Biggest guilty pleasure MCU movie. Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure's tough because it's a movie that I don't think is great. And I think the first Avengers is pretty great. But I guess off the bat, the first Avengers is the one that I often defend more than the other ones, but I still think it's a really good movie, so I wouldn't call it a guilty pleasure. All right. Oh, you're right. Yeah, we've heard Hank say nothing in the trailer as well. Yeah, you're right. We haven't heard Hank Pym say much. So that's but it was weird for me though for Wasp because Wasp is in the title. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like to not give her anything to say in the trailer is a little weird, but yeah, Hank 2 for sure. Let's scroll down here. Let's go to the next one. And Kristen, I don't know if you're still watching, but I hope I see your tweet. I might go pull it up regardless, just kind of to see what you said. There comes a point where every franchise has to get weird, and the MCU has done that with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Like all of his other roles, Jonathan Majors remains endlessly compelling. Another Jonathan Majors praise, but another, this movie's all over the place, kind of weird, but in a good way. We got 2 thumbs up. Brian seemed to have really liked it. So that's another positive tweet. Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors, man. Jonathan Majors. All right, Jonathan Majors is a force in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. He's compelling, chilling, and already giving a top-notch performance. I love the complexity he brings to Kang with literally a single look. MCU really won with this casting. Again, that is a praise. That is a heavy, and I think that's the last one, heavy praise for Jonathan Majors. But we see anything else about the movie here? So I think most of her positive thoughts came with Jonathan Majors. And the movie itself, not as much. It doesn't seem like the movie itself deserves enough praise to get mentioned in the tweet. That's just kind of reading between the lines here, and I should know that because, hey, I've tweeted things about movies before, and I'm thinking to myself, I kind of want to save some of those bad things for the review, and that's what I often do. So, Jonathan Majors is a force. Listen, if nothing else, going through some of these tweets has really been getting me pumped up for the future of where Phase 5 is going to go, because Jonathan Majors is the main bad guy. He's the big bad. If all of the early reactions are about the villain, you think it means a good movie or just being nice? I don't know. I absolutely think, and let's see here. What do we got here? What do we got? Sorry, guys, I'm getting notifications galore here. I honestly think some of these tweets have been praising Jonathan Majors because that is their favorite part of the movie. But I also feel like we're getting some Jonathan Majors is great. The movie itself is fine. Jonathan Majors is really good, which is kind of the consensus. Some are saying the movie's really good, but I'm seeing this as a bit more of a mixed bag than maybe even I expected off the bat, because most positive reactions or most initial reactions are positive, but these initial reactions have been a little bit more of a mixed bag. Again, really pumped for Jonathan Majors, really pumped for the presence of Kang, but, you know, we're just going to have to see what type of movie we're getting. One that is not as simple as the first Ant-Man and the second Ant-Man. It's going to be a big sci-fi movie. And, you know, and part of me thinks that's cool. I genuinely believe that's a pretty cool thing to have. But is it cool for Ant-Man? And is it a compelling story? And there was one tweet that I saw last night saying MODOK, and I think they even spelled MODOK wrong, saying MODOK is going to be a divisive character. Some are going to love MODOK, some are going to hate MODOK. I saw a Fifth Element comparison, so you know, maybe less Star Wars, more Fifth Element, some wacky, crazy people in the background, and that to me, you know, it's not a super big positive for some people, but that to me is interesting. I think that could be a different type of Marvel movie that we're looking at if we're getting Fifth Element comparisons. And I'm not going to say it's the Ragnarok of the Ant-Man franchise, because, you know, my love for Ragnarok it knows no bounds. But if this could give Ant-Man that kind of jolt that this character needs, as opposed to just taking away from what we love about the small scale, then that, you know, and we'll see how many people show up to the theater, then that would be awesome for this franchise. I am, let's see. He's the Wanda to this movie's Multiverse of Madness, calling it. Yeah, listen, I'm with you. I think he could play that, start off making a deal with Ant-Man, turn into a villain type of role, and I don't see any redemption coming like we're going to see for Wanda down the road, but Kang is great. And who knows, maybe this isn't even the exact Kang that we're going to get in Avengers Secret Wars. Maybe this is a slightly different variant of Kang. Maybe this is a version of Kang that ends up traveling through time. And, you know, we just don't know, because there are going to be so many. We're gonna see a lot of Jonathan Majors in the future as different versions of this character. We've already seen two. I don't know if you guys watched the Avengers animated show. There's a scene where I think 3 or 4 variants of Kang, they come in and check in on the variant of Kang that's fighting the Avengers, and he's saying, well, this is a test that I've never faced before. That's cool. You know, if we see something like that in the next Avengers film, where different versions of him are checking in on him, how he's doing against the Avengers, and who knows, maybe Secret Wars, when they all fight each other, it's going to be a bunch of versions of Kang versus the current version of the Avengers, plus a couple of people from the multiverse. Could we see Toby Spider-Man? Could we see Hugh Jackman? I think that's a huge possibility at this point, because they both already said they're coming back, right? There's a lot that they could do with this character, and that really excites me. But it does look like, consensus-wise, Jonathan Majors is a beast in this movie. That's great, man. I love seeing that. That gets me so just pumped for his role in this universe. But in terms of the movie, I just have to sit and wait on what the story is going to give me. I have to sit and wait on the plot. Is this going to be a plot that entices me in the way that a movie kicking off Phase 5 should, right? Maybe they didn't anticipate Phase 4 being a little bit of a letdown, so they're like, well, we're going to do Ant-Man, first movie of Phase 5, a good movie, but not a great movie. Now they're probably thinking, God, we should have started out with a bang. Maybe we should have started out with Guardians of the Galaxy, but who knows? Maybe Ant-Man could be that banger. I hope it is that banger. I hope it's great. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm sure there are some good little conversations here regarding Ant-Man. Well explained. Thanks for the insight. Thank you. I bet Kang is going to be a villain for What If Season 2. That's why the delay until 2024. That's an interesting theory. I don't hate that. Roman with the question, Begins or Dark Knight Rises? I go back and forth. I'd say Begins, but I like Rises more than a lot of people. Have you read the Secret Wars comic? Yes. Oh my God. When they, when they announced it, I lost my mind. But again, they stray pretty far away from the comics sometimes. But yes, I think that is a fantastic. You know, it's funny because the Civil War storyline in the comics is not great, but the Civil War movie was great. Secret Wars, different. Secret Wars is amazing. It's an amazing run. There are a couple of different incarnations, but overall amazing, a great story. And I think there's a lot of opportunity here to give us something we've never seen. Hey, Austin, am I late? You are, Billy, but that's okay. You're here now. That's all that matters. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, Jack. I am doing a lot better than I was last week. That's for sure. What happened to the Lockwood & Co. reviews? Just got behind. I mean, dealing with insurance, with our house flood and all that stuff. You know, nothing's really happening there. So it's been a little all over the place. So I wasn't able to watch that. But there are some shows I'm reviewing this week. Season 4 on Netflix. Any more Ant-Man talk? Wasn't Kang in Loki before this? So yes, technically, right? But it was a different version. It was what they call him, He Who Remains, right? So it is a little bit of an insight as to what this character is going to be, but this character is darker and different and probably ruthless. If I had to guess, he was ruthless. So it's going to be a different character. Apparently it's way too silly, especially MODOK and his VFX. And that sounds more like Love and Thunder than Thor Ragnarok. And I hope that's not the case, right? I'm okay with a little silly. Again, we mentioned Fifth Element. I'm okay with a little silly. Because at his core, Ant-Man's silly. So you're going to get a little silly. But we have to keep what's focused, what should be in focus, and that's the story. If the story's good, that's all that matters. Will Kang be the new Thanos in this saga? Yes. Kang will be the new Thanos. Now, will Kang be as good as Thanos? I don't know, but yes. I swear if they don't make Dark Phoenix Saga an actual saga, I will lose my flipping mind. I think, Sky, that's something they need to wait on, because they've tried that twice now in a span of 15 years, right? 2006 was X-Men The Last Stand. When was Dark Phoenix? So it's been about 12 years. So I think they need to take a break. But wait 10 years, maybe 12 more, and then do Dark Phoenix again. Do a little bit of a refresh, because they've just botched it both times. Is there any updates about Fantastic Four? Not at the moment. You know, maybe we get something that maybe that's one of the 2 post-credit scenes at the end of Ant-Man. I don't know. I hope so. I really hope so. Question. Does anybody besides me think that a reviewer saying there's a big twist at the end of the movie is a spoiler? I don't. Well, it's according on how they say it, right? If you say this movie threw me off because of its twist, I mean, there's a movie always has some sort of twist. And if it doesn't, then I'm not going to say it's rare, but if you're watching a big genre film, or you're watching an action film, or you're watching a thriller, then I think it all comes down to the context of how you're saying it. I have said before, the twist doesn't work, but saying there's a twist in a movie, I mean, if it's not obvious, then you're not going to guess what it is. So to me, it always comes down to the context of the movie. Sometimes I would say, yeah, that's probably a spoiler in the way that person said it. But other times, no. But again, it's different per movie, right? I like Dark Phoenix. I mean, look, I didn't like it. It was bad, but I don't hate it as much as I hate X-Men Origins, right? So that's good. But yeah, I thought it was bad. When do you think Wanda will appear again? She is my favorite character. Probably the Vision series. If I had to guess, I would say the Vision series. But Agatha, no, I think she might appear in Agatha. But yeah, the Vision series is a really good bet. all good movies have a turn, not necessarily a twist. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if all good movies have a turn, right? There's always something. I guess if it's super small scale, would I consider that a turn, or would I consider it just a thing that happens? But I think a lot of great movies do have some sort of twist and turn. But then you're getting into semantics, so that's kind of like, at that point, who cares? So what? Who cares? People make a big deal out of stuff. Mike says, I liked New Mutants. New Mutants is better than Dark Phoenix. Yeah, I think New Mutants is better than Dark Phoenix. I didn't hate New Mutants. I didn't like it per se, but I didn't hate it. Should Spider-Man get a black suit during Secret Wars? I think Spider-Man should have the black suit storyline in his own movie, but I don't hate the idea of Spider-Man getting a black suit during Secret Wars, if that makes sense. If you want to lead into a black suit saga with Spider-Man and start him out in Secret Wars, be my guest. I think that would be really great. By the way, guys, if you are here, the every 20 minutes my spiel, if you want to hit that like button, man, that would be awesome. We're already at 73 likes on a random Tuesday at 2:30. That's fantastic. Really helps the channel, helps this video out quite a bit. So thank you so much for that. But also, if you want to continue to leave those comments, we're going to answer more. We'll talk MCU for another 10 minutes or so if you guys want to. Super chat's the best way for me to see it. Otherwise, we're going to keep talking. And if there's anything else you would like to talk about, please let me know. But yeah, if you're just joining us, if you're kind of new here, we went through some of the tweets, the Ant-Man early reactions. We had some positive ones. We had a couple of negatives. One mixed bag. It seemed like one really big mixed bag. And then, of course, you've got Jonathan Majors just every tweet. People are loving what Jonathan Majors is doing. Wakanda Forever disappointed me in many ways. I can't even explain, so I've given up on Marvel. Wow, I think I'm the opposite. I was down on Marvel. Werewolf by Night I thought was great, but it's not a movie, it's not a TV show. It was a special, right? But I was pretty down. I just come off of She-Hulk, and I didn't like that show. I thought that show was pretty bad. But Wakanda Forever lifted me up, man. So I actually really liked Wakanda Forever. I think it's, it doesn't have the impact of Chadwick Boseman-led Black Panther movie, but I think the plot's better, to be honest with you. The overall plot. Do you play video games? If so, will you be playing the new Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy? Look, that game looks really fun, right? I don't play video games. I don't have time for video games. I wish I did. That would be great, but I don't. So, no. The only game I play, when I go visit my brother, he has a Nintendo Wii, I play Super Smash Bros. I love Super Smash Bros. And I am annoying, and I play Bowser, and they hate it because he's somewhat of a cheat code. But I've also turned into a King Dedede lover. That sounded weird. I like playing with King Dedede. That also sounded weird. I am a big fan of touching King Dedede. No, I enjoy being King Dedede in the game. That sounds better. All right, let's see. Eternals was great. People are just expecting something different and then criticized it from that perspective. I don't think Eternals was great. I think Eternals, the further we get from it, the more I forget about it. So it didn't really leave a big impact on me. But I also don't think Eternals was bad. I think Eternals is mixed, but I am slightly positive on it. I think there's some good things in that movie. They try to be different. They try to stray away. Chloe Zhao was pretty good behind the camera. But I forget, the further away we get about it, it's kind of like that Thor the Dark World effect, where I don't think Eternals is as bad as Thor the Dark World, but the further we get away from it, the more I'm just kind of like, I'm just kind of like, So, but I don't hate it. Let's see. How's your day? Mine hasn't been great because I go, oh my gosh, Jimmy, I hope you feel better. That's not a fun thing. Trust me, it's not a fun thing. But I do hope you feel better. Anybody who's not feeling too great, hey, yo, that was very sus. I tried to phrase it correctly, and unfortunately, I failed. All right. Avi said read more reviews. What we got? We got 5 minutes, right? We got 5 minutes. Don't compare it to the Dark World. Well, in terms of me forgetting it, the further away we get, that is unfortunately the comparison that I'm going to make. But I do think it's better than the Dark World. Let's see if I can find one more article here and just go through some more Ant-Man reviews very quickly. That was Variety. And you guys let me know. Again, my screen's a little laggy. Let's try IndieWire. And this is Samantha with not as fancy of text here. But oh no, here we go. Yeah, we've got Eric Davis here. So let's see if this works. I don't think we've read Eric Davis yet. Hot take: Thor: The Dark World isn't that bad. Well, that is a hot take. I don't love Thor: The Dark World, but that is a hot take. But it's an okay take. I'm okay with that. Will you start playing video games when they start to connect to the DC universe? I mean, that'll be very enticing. That would be very enticing. I don't know. To do that, I will have to buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, and I don't have one of those, and that will require money. And so we're spending a lot of money on our flooded house right now. But hey, maybe down the line, then we're having a daughter. We're having a baby. We're having a baby. So, that's going to require money as well. Maybe I won't, because maybe I won't have enough money to play. Maybe I won't have enough money to play video games. Okay. But if I get a chance, an opportunity, then yes. Okay. Let's see. Let's go over to more. Let's get into some more of these tweets here. We got more tweets. This is Eric Davis. Phase 5 has begun. The new Ant-Man movie is like a psychedelic roller coaster full of frightening and hilarious oddities, plus one very menacing Kang. Big Star Wars vibes, there we go, meets the MCU at its freakiest and most inventive. MODOK is a riot, but Jonathan Majors conquers. Love the ride. Definitely make sure you stay for the credits. Now, here's what I like. I like when, you separate the post credits from the other one but this is its own tweet. Make sure you stay for the post credits because there are significant things to see. I really dug how Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania is both a part 1 of Phase 5, but also a self-contained Ant-Man story that is funny and sweet and features a kick-A Michelle Pfeiffer. Good stuff. All right, Eric. That was a really positive tweet. All right. Congrats. Oh, thank y'all. Congrats on having a baby. Thank y'all for the congrats, man. Thank you. Thank y'all. Is it a little baby? We're going to have a little baby. And June 22nd is the release date, if you want that in movie terms. Damon with the super chat. The Wrap just reported that, whoa, hang on. Stop it. No, you did not. Stop it. No, they did not. You're lying. You're lying to me. Don't you do this. Okay, we got to go on Twitter now. I know you guys can't see me doing this, but we got to go on Twitter right now. Okay, the Wrap just reported. Don't you do that to me. Okay, Fantastic Four director. Fantastic Four begins filming, so that is true. But do we have a cast? Do we have a cast? I don't think is the cast legit. Is the cast legit? Am I being lied to right now? Let's see, Damon. So you are right on the shooting beginning. I'm sorry. Thoughts on my Fantastic Four fan cast. See, this is Damon. This is why I've got to read it a little bit more. Okay, here's your fan cast. So that is pretty cool. That actually might be something I make a little video on. Is the Fantastic Four starting shooting. I want to look at the details though, and I know I am a big fan of kind of the people that they have behind the camera right now. So I do have faith in Fantastic Four, to be honest with you. But let's see. We've got Reed as Dev Patel, which has been a little bit of a rumor. Sue as Adria Arjona. Arjona, is that how you pronounce that? Jarrell Jerome or Kelvin Harrison Jr. has been. Ooh, okay. Oh, man. Jarrell Jerome or Kelvin Harrison Jr. has been. And then, as Johnny. That's what I meant to say in my head. And then Jesse Plemons has been. Okay. Jesse Plemons is the best of that. That's the best of the bunch. I think Jesse Plemons in the MCU would be fantastic. I like Jesse Plemons as Ben. In terms of Jarrell Jerome or Kelvin Harrison Jr.? I think Kelvin Harrison Jr. would crush it. I was a big fan of Waves. I thought he was amazing in that movie. And then what was the one the year after? We need to, gosh, what was the name? I can't remember. But he was great in that film as well. So Kelvin Harrison Jr. kind of blew up, and then he hasn't been in a lot as of late, but I think he would be a great Johnny. Dev Patel is the one that I've actually been hearing about. Nothing but a rumor, right? This is just people that claim to know things. Do they actually know things? I don't know. But as of now, people are saying he might actually be a front runner for Reed Richards. So that's a great fan cast. I think that's a great fan cast. But again, you bring Jesse Plemons in the MCU, I'm going to be very happy. I think Dev Patel is probably the most possible of all of those, but we'll see what route they end up going. We got Ingrid. This is a personal question, but do you consider yourself introverted or extroverted? Do you usually see movies with others or by yourself? No judgment, as I have become more antisocial post-COVID. That's a good question. You know, Ingrid, that's actually a question, and we'll get back to the fan casting here in a second. That's a question that I don't think I've ever been asked on one of these, so thank you. One Night in Miami. That's not the movie I was thinking about, Enchanted Rose. It was a different one, but that's another one. So that's another good example. Yeah, that was another great film. But no, I was thinking about, what was the one where he was with the parents and it was based on a play? It's going to eat me alive. All right, but let's get back to Ingrid. I'm definitely extroverted. So some of these YouTubers that you see and you meet, you know, they have a very lively personality on camera, and then you meet them loose. Thank you. It was eating me alive. I was dying on the inside. You know, and some that I've met, and I won't say who, I will keep that between us, but some that I've met and I really love, and YouTubers that I'm a huge fan of, are very introverted. Very introverted. My wife is introverted, but you see my wife on camera and it doesn't feel like she's introverted because she is so lively on camera. I am different. I don't know why, but I'm very extroverted in real life. And then I get on camera and I kind of get maybe more excited, but I keep that same level of excitement. Now, here's what's crazy. I'm going to put myself a little bigger for this. Here's what's crazy. I'm kind of with you. In the last year or so, and I think it's because I solely work from home with all my projects, I have become a little more antisocial in terms of me not wanting to go to as many parties, me not wanting to go out as much with friends when they're in town and things like that. And I do it, and I get out in public and I'm talking to everybody. And that's why I tell you guys, if you ever see me in real life, please stop me, talk to me, say hi. I had 3 people in New York. I remember their faces. I don't remember their names. Stop me and say hi to me. And that was great. I loved, even if it was a very short, brief 30-second conversation. That was awesome. But yeah, I'm fairly extroverted, but I'm with you though. Post 2020, I've become a little less so. And I like going to movies by myself a lot more now. I like doing things by myself or with my wife, you know. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But I like to talk. So sorry if you ever meet me. Next super chat here. We got some super chats to knock out. How hyped are you for Daredevil Born Again? We are on that Marvel talk, so this is appropriate. I'm super hyped, but a bit worried. What are you looking for in the show? And do you think John Bernthal's Punisher will return? Possibly Midnight Suns. I think Midnight Suns is a real high probability of happening. You know, I think Bernthal's coming back. I think Bernthal is absolutely coming back. And so the question is, what project? Are we doing an individual Punisher show? Are we doing a movie? Are we doing Midnight Suns? I think Midnight Suns would be awesome. We've already established who Punisher is. It's sort of a reboot, but same thing with Daredevil. We've already established who this version of Daredevil is. The only reason I'm kind of with you, D, is because, and it's that slight worry of, are they not going to go dark enough with Daredevil? I hope they do. But I thought maybe they'd go a little darker with Moon Knight. They didn't. Still good show. Didn't do it. So maybe Daredevil will be that project. But I hope they keep it dark. I really do. All right, sir, from Mike. Rank these divisive MCU films: Eternals, Black Widow, Iron Man 2, Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder. Ooh, I like it. I like it, Mike. We're getting toasty. That's not the word to use. That's great. Let's go. Man. Let's go Multiverse of Madness 1. Let's go Eternals 2. This might be, yeah, I don't think people like this. Let's go Love and Thunder 3. Let's go Love and Thunder 3. Black Widow 4. Iron Man 2 5. That sounds right. Yeah, I still think Iron Man 2 is a mess of a movie. I really do. I think Iron Man 2 is a mess of a movie. It was set up. It was nothing but setup. So I would say, but again, Black Widow, I thought Black Widow was so forgettable. But I also thought Eternals was kind of forgettable. But I would bump Eternals up just a little more because of how different it was. With my Love and Thunder ranking, you know, there's some great things in Love and Thunder. There's no denying that. I was a fan of the ending. I liked the ending, what they did when he actually gets to eternity. I thought that was pretty great. I didn't hate the battle with the kids as much as other people did because that kind of reminded me of what Taika likes to do, that type of thing. But, you know, the mishandling of Christian Bale, not giving us enough of that character, the silliness with the goat, some of the jokes, the Jane stuff was great. The rest of the silliness was not good. I don't know. It's one of those movies that just doesn't age very well, but neither does Iron Man 2 and neither does Black Widow. So really the only movie that I'm just a fan of in general on this list is Multiverse of Madness. I actually think Multiverse of Madness is pretty good. It's pretty good. Not great. Pretty good. I think it's a good movie. I just wish it would have lived up to that hype of a pure horror type of film. And I honestly wish they would have titled it something differently. I hate that they titled it Multiverse of Madness because it's not Multiverse of Madness. It's going through a couple of multiverses and then we end up in one and we stay there the whole movie. That's what it is. So maybe Doctor Strange, you know, something else, not Multiverse of Madness. That would have made it a better film. Love and Thunder is the worst Thor movie in my opinion. This is a fun MCU discussion, by the way. We should do these more often. Thor is Love and Thunder is the worst Thor movie in my opinion. I still think The Dark World is worse, but yeah, I would put at this point, and this was different a couple months ago. At this point, I would say the first Thor is better than Love and Thunder. So I would say it's third on my list because Ragnarok is untouched at this point. Scarlet Witch and the Confusion of Chaos. I like the word chaos. That would have worked. Doctor Strange and the Chaos of Wanda or something like that, you know. Just not Multiverse of Madness. Why would you call it that and not go to different multiverses? I don't get it. Thor Love and Thunder is atrocious. No, I don't think it was atrocious. I thought Morbius was atrocious. No, I don't even think Morbius was atrocious. I just thought Morbius sucked. But that's not look, atrocious. I saved the word atrocious. You know what I saved the word atrocious for? Movies that I watch and no one else watches. Marmaduke, 365 Days, Tall Girl 2. You all don't watch those. You're smart. You stay away from those. When you see movies like those, that's atrocious. Love and Thunder is the Godfather compared to those movies, okay? Go watch Marmaduke and then tell me which movie's atrocious. That's where I'm at. It's all a comparison game for me. You know, maybe I didn't love Love and Thunder. I don't think it's a very good movie, but when you see something like Marmaduke, that's atrocious. Just kidding. Marmaduke it's the GOAT. It's the best movie of all time. Doctor Strange, Chaos Caused by Confusion. Oh, I like this. We're renaming Doctor Strange. That's great. Here's a better title. Doctor Strange 2. I'm with Enchanted Rose. I'm with Enchanted Rose. You're absolutely right. All right, Austin, I've noticed that your Letterboxd reviews are increasing in quality a lot recently. And this is my bad, Jack. I've not been very active on Letterboxd. I've not been very active. When I do, I try to take a lot of time on the review, and that's why. That's why I've not been very active. But thank you. I appreciate that. Listen, do you prefer making videos or written reviews? Honestly, am I being honest? If I'm being honest with you, I love the process of making a video. It's very fun. Written reviews, I feel like I have a better grip on what I'm trying to say. So I think I get my point across a little better in written form. So, hey, here's a good time for a plug. If you guys want to follow me on, do we have a Letterboxd thing here? I don't have one. If you guys want to follow me on Letterboxd, I think my written reviews, I would say they're more thought. They're shorter technically, but I get a little bit more in depth because I'm able to kind of, what does Obi-Wan say? Search your feelings. No, was that Qui-Gon? Regardless, I'm able to search my feelings a little bit more in written form. Xavier says, I would rather sit through Marmaduke. Oh God, Xavier. Oh God, Lord help him. Let's all say a prayer for Xavier. You do that, buddy. You get back to me. Took me 3 days. Took me 3 days to make that potato salad. What's that from? Took me 3 days to make this potato salad. What's it from? What's the reference? Please tell me the reference down below. If you don't know the reference, we can't be friends. That's a joke, but you got to know the reference. Okay. Rank Shang-Chi, No Way Home, Black Panther 2. I am nostalgia bias. I am nostalgia biased by nostalgia. I would say Shang-Chi's the most creative. I would put me, yes, fashionable changeling with the wind. With the wind. That is a SpongeBob reference. You and I are besties. We're best friends. That is a freaking SpongeBob. Jimmy knows it. SpongeBob, duh. You know it, Jimmy. You know it. But in terms of ranking those, I would say No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Black Panther 2. That's where I'm at. No Way Home, Shang-Chi, Black Panther 2. Shang-Chi, man, the creativity, though, is really cool. That's what we want. That's what we need, is that kind of creativity. Let's see. They're making a Marmaduke 2. Are you lying to me? Are you lying to me right now? Don't do that to me. 2023 was shaping up to be a good year. It really was. We were on track. Within the last 48 hours, a lot of bad stuff's been happening. But in terms of like movies and TV shows, it was shaping up to be a great year. And then you break that news to me, and my heart's broken. D says, no, for real. Are we really? Is this happening? If we get a Marmaduke 2, let's make Marmaduke 2. And Xavier, I'm glad you could laugh about this. Genuinely, please stay away from Marmaduke. It's that bad. If they make a Marmaduke 2, we've got to do a watch along. We've got to do a watch along. And maybe save that for Patreon, which I am working on getting. I have 7 podcasts recorded for Patreon. I'm working on getting that out. Give me time, okay? We got to do a Marmaduke 2 watch along. It is required, okay? We have to experience pain together. If we can't do that, who are we? What are we to each other? I want to be besties, but we can't do that unless we watch Marmaduke 2 together. Cash says, director swaps. I love director swaps. I know we're talking Marvel. Cash, you're here. We're doing it. Let's go. Mark Millad's Triangle of Sadness or Ruben Ostlund's The Menu. Oh my God. That's tough. That's tough. I would go, and listen, here's what's crazy. I think Triangle of Sadness is a better directed movie, but I prefer The Menu. So I would actually go Ruben Ostlund's The Menu. Surprisingly enough, even though I prefer The Menu to Triangle of Sadness, I would go Ruben Ostlund's The Menu because I think Ruben Ostlund's direction is outstanding. In Triangle of Sadness, I just didn't enjoy the movie as much. M. Night Shyamalan's Spiderhead or Joseph Kosinski's Knock at the Cabin. Listen, one of the things I liked about Knock in the Cabin was how it was directed. Seriously, one of the things I liked about Knock at the Cabin is how it's directed. So it's hard for me to say Kosinski's Knock at the Cabin when I love the direction. But then again, Spiderhead was just so dull. You know what? Actually, I just made the point myself. Because Spiderhead was so dull, let's go M. Night Spiderhead. Maybe he would spice it up a little bit. Maybe he would spruce it up. You know, listen, I think Kosinski knocked Top Gun Maverick out of the freaking park. I just thought Spiderhead was a little dull. So maybe M. Night would spruce it up just a little bit. So let's go M. Night doing Spiderhead for that one. Because, again, didn't love Knock at the Cabin, but I did really enjoy the direction. So there we go. I also really loved how M. Night used the older cameras to get some of the shots in the forest. I thought that was really cool, to be honest with you. Good. What do we got here? Good super chats. I think that was the last one, right? Oh no, we got one more. We got one more super chat here, and we've went way over an hour. This is this is a long live stream. Now watched all the picture and acting nominees for Oscar. Hey, that's awesome. That's a hard thing to do, even for me. Not all my choices made it, but overall a decent set of films. Great channel. Oh, thank you, Vixter. Thanks for being here. Listen, you watch, even just watching all 10 Best Picture nominees, that's a feat in itself, right? That's 10 movies. That's a long time. That's 20 hours of your life. So that's pretty freaking cool. Congratulations. Love it. Love it. Cash said, but Top Gun Austin. Listen, I love Top Gun. I think Maverick's amazing. But, and maybe that could bring something to Knock at the Cabin, but I'd like to see a better version of Spiderhead. So I'm going to go M. Night Spiderhead. When are you seeing Ant-Man 3? And I think we're getting down to where we could end on some of these questions. By the way, guys, I want to say thanks for all the likes. We're at 92 likes. We're 8 away from 100 on a Tuesday. On a random Tuesday, I just came out of nowhere and I said, hey, we're going to do a live stream. You guys showed up for that. So, hey, thank you. Almost at 100. That's outstanding. Thank you so much for that. And we've had a lot of super chats today for all of your support. Thank you so much, man. You guys are the reason this channel moves. You're the reason it breathes. And I can't say thank you enough for that. Please read my Fantastic Four fan cast from Sky. Let's see who we got. Read Johnny Depp. I don't know if I love that. Sue Christina V. Who is Christina V? Do I know Christina V? Let's see. Christina V. Let's see here. We're pulling up. I don't know who Christina V is. I am so sorry. Let's see who else we got. Johnny Joe Carey. I assume you mean Joe Keery. If you mean Joe Keery from Stranger Things, I like that. I think that's good. Ben Seth Rogen. I've never liked the Seth Rogen call for Ben. I've never liked the Seth Rogen call for Ben very much. I think it could work. I thought Rogen was great in The Fabelmans. I think that's a little less inspired, though. I like the idea of getting actors that can kind of go out of the box, do a little something different. Joe Keery, if you do mean Joe Keery, that's the best of the bunch there. Don't know who Christiana, is that Christiana? Christiana V? Don't know who that is. Johnny Depp, don't love it. Johnny Depp, though. Johnny Depp's brother, that might work. Johnny Depp. That wouldn't even work because it's a different last name. Why did I say that? Let's see. Do you think the Batman 2 is going to be amazing, as amazing as The Dark Knight? I really hope so. The Dark Knight is one of my favorite movies, too. To put it on that level is, I mean, like, it's a lot. That's a lot to put it on that level. So I can't say that it's going to be that good because I just don't think it is going to be that good. But if it's remotely close to The Dark Knight, then we're talking maybe the best movie that year. Okay? So I don't hate that comparison because it's the second Batman movie and that's always the one that's like, okay. But to say it's going to be as good as The Dark Knight, that's a hard thing to do, man. That's a hard thing to do. We'll see, though. The jury's out. The jury's out. Let's do 2 or 3 more questions here. Melissa Benoist says, I don't hate that. I think she's good. I don't hate that. I think she's good. Wasn't she? She was in Whiplash, wasn't she? So she's got range. Xavier with 100 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. That's awesome. Let's see if we've got a couple more questions here. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa was top-notch casting. I agree with that. Seth Rogen as Pumbaa was fantastic. I hear my dog freaking out in there, and that means one thing and one thing only. That means my wife is home. So this is a great time to stop. It's a great time to stop this live stream. Will you be watching Barbie alone, or will you be seeing with all the boys? We're going to get all the boys down here. Let me tell you. We're going to get the boys down here. We're getting Sam, we're getting Chris, we're getting Devin. That's the crew. That's my squad. All right. Sam, Chris, and Devin. We're getting them down here. We're putting on suits. We're going to go watch Barbie. Okay, we probably won't put on suits. But we're going to go watch Barbie. That's how it works. We're also going to go watch Oppenheimer. It's going to be the ultimate double feature. And guess what? That's my birthday weekend. We're rocking and rolling that weekend. Is that my birthday weekend, right? Yeah, it is, right? It's the July 22nd. Is that right? Because my birthday is the 21st. This is going to be the best birthday of all time. Thoughts on John Wick 4? I mean, we're talking about one of the most consistent action franchises of our time. Maybe the most consistent action franchise of all time. If we can have 4 in a row. So if this 4th one works, man, let's freaking go. Let's see here. Do you think that they'll introduce Doctor Doom in this saga? I think this is a great opportunity to do that. I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know if they're going to do it in the first Fantastic Four movie, but maybe the second one, and maybe he gets his own origin story. Maybe it's like a Marvel special, something like that. That would be great. Let's see here. I keep saying one more, but you guys are just asking great questions. Christiana is an anime actor. She's my favorite voice actress. Okay, well, that explains it. I don't know who she is specifically. If she's a good actress, then maybe that would work. But, it's hard for me to call that when I don't know exactly who she is. Thoughts on William Jackson Harper or Dev Patel as Reed Richards? I don't hate either of those castings, to be honest with you. I thought did they not cast William Jackson Harper in Ant-Man as a different role? I thought they did. Maybe I just made that up in my head, but I like William Jackson Harper a lot. But the Dev Patel casting, you're going to see, I'll be pretty happy because I think Dev Patel is a great actor. Cash said, yeah, they did. So, hey, maybe that's William Jackson Harper's role. Maybe he is Reed, and that's just a secret. But I think they cast him as a different actor. So Dev Patel's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm going to use my little sister as an excuse to go watch Barbie. Listen, QL, I don't need an excuse. I'm taking the boys. We going to watch Barbie. All right. Am I taking the wife? No, I'm not taking the wife. She'll be at home with the baby. We taking the boys to watch Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl. It does look pretty good, though. It's not one of my most anticipated movies of the year, but it looks pretty good. Let's see. If we get Marmaduke 2, the world will be perfect. If we get Marmaduke 2, this is my hell. I'm living in it. That's not true. We'll get to watch it together. See, I'm going to make you all watch. I'm going to make you. If we get it, I'm going to force every single one of you. I'm going to say, you click on my video and you watch Marmaduke 2. And you're going to love it. And you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to ask me questions. You're going to say, Austin, you love it? I'm going to say, yes, I love Marmaduke 2. I hope my wife's not listening. She's going to think I'm weird. Let's see. What's the most excited movie of 2025? Oh, 2025. That is too far away. That is too far away for me. I don't know. Is that when Secret Wars is? I know that's when Superman is, right? Superman, Secret Wars. Yeah, we got some good movies coming. Listen. Sorry if I missed this, but what is your single most anticipated movie of this year? It's very close between Oppenheimer, Dune 2, Spider-Verse, Killers of the Flower Moon. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing one. The Killer. I'm going to go Across the Spider-Verse, though. I love that first movie so much. So much, man. It's just this passion. It's walking out of that theater and just being so surprised. So I'm going to go Across the Spider-Verse, and hopefully I have that same feeling with the second one. Although I won't be surprised. I'll just be happy. Marmaduke VR. That is my hell. That is my hell. You're so evil, Austin. Why are you pulling us? It's not me. It's my evil twin. Nitsa. That is my name backwards. My evil twin Nitsa. My Burke backwards is Ekrub. Ekrub Nitsa. That's my evil twin. It's not me. It would be him. So blame him. Go find him. He's somewhere else on the internet. It's my evil twin. What is in this Gatorade? I can't figure out the flavor. What is Glacier? How long have we been here? An hour and 23 minutes. All right. Well, what do we got? Okay. I keep saying last question, and I'm answering more questions. Why is the tweet on the screen? You need my face. No, you don't. Let's put the tweet back on the screen. All right. Kang Dynasty in 2025. Okay. Well, that's probably one of my most anticipated. Marmaduke worse than 365 days. Yes. Marmaduke is my hell. Giancarlo Esposito as Dr. Doom. Thoughts? Listen. Cast Giancarlo Esposito as any villain, I'm going to be happy. I don't know if Dr. Doom is that villain. I mean, that's, I think we need somebody a little younger for Dr. Doom, but I don't hate it. Giancarlo Esposito as anyone. We're just stuck in this loop. Is that it's okay, Austin? Yes. My time loop, if I was in a time loop, I would want to be in the Marmaduke over and over time loop because I would love it. I would be so happy. What are we here? What are we talking about? Marmaduke. Why are we talking Marmaduke? It took me 3 days. I took so many breaks. I made so much popcorn. Okay. I gained a little bit of weight recently. It's probably because I had 3 days worth of popcorn watching Marmaduke. It was awful. Just kidding. I loved it. You don't know where I fall. You have no clue. I'm so confusing. Black Gay Comic Geek. We can't leave now. We can't leave now because you're here. And I love that you're here. Austin Burke is Doctor Doom. If you make me watch Marmaduke 2, I will become more powerful than anyone in a comic book movie. You can write that down. That will be my villain origin story. Or my hero origin story, because again, I love it. What are we talking about? Pedro Pascal's Galactus. That's random. Bring in, what was he in? Wonder Woman. He was wasted. He was wasted in Wonder Woman. Bring him into the MCU or the DCU and give him a good role. This man deserves it. He deserves all of the roles. He is amazing. I actually watched SNL this weekend, which I never do, and he was great. Some of the skits fell flat, but the Mario skit, awesome. Some of those little random ones, the game show, I thought was hilarious. So Pascal kind of crushed it. Even his monologue at the beginning was great. Well, who was the singer? Coldplay. That one was a little... I didn't watch that one, but I do love Coldplay, though. Okay. Austin Burke and Marmaduke 2. See, now we're getting meta, and now I'm thoroughly enjoying myself. Thank you so much. Okay. What do you think of Public Wars? What is Public Wars? I don't know what that is. Publix like the grocery store, and people are fighting wars in Publix. We just wrote a movie. We just wrote a movie. How long have we been here? An hour and 26 minutes. All right. Well, let's go 4 more minutes. We'll go 4 more minutes, and then we'll be done. That's not true. I'll keep talking. Austin Burke and Marmaduke 2 and 3. This is... I don't know if this is a fan cast or if you guys have leaked info, because you might be right, to be honest with you. You might be right. You watched Ant-Man 2. No, I watched it on Monday. Hey, we got Black Gay Comic Geek in the house. Can we get a little Ant-Man 2, a little reaction? Get a little Ant-Man 2 reaction? All right. I saw your Instagram post last night. I think I saw your Instagram post last night. I was very tired scrolling through Instagram. It was one of those nights when you're on your phone and you're just kind of, and then you just kind of fall asleep, and you wake up an hour later and you're like, oh, what did I click on? What did I like? It was one of those nights. I was very tired. Austin, have you ever seen Ghost in the Shell 95? Yes, and I love it. I think it's great. I think it is absolutely great. We'll do a couple more. What do we got? 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes. Do you understand life? Do you? From Mike. Mike, I don't. I don't get it. What is this life all about? What is it all about? I have no clue. See, now the Marmaduke 2 the Marmaduke 2 talk has led into questions about life. That is how good that first movie is. Remember a while ago when I said I hated it? I lied to you. Batman 2 or Secret Wars. Oh, my goodness. Man. Right now I have to go Batman 2 because I've not seen the build up to Secret Wars, so I don't have that abundance of excitement yet. But Batman 1 I absolutely love, so Batman 2. Let's go Batman 2. Insight. Juicy insight. Jonathan Majors was great. Loved him. Okay. Very Star Warsy. All right. I liked Quantumania and Ant-Man 2. Okay. So here we go. Ant-Man 1, Quantumania, Ant-Man 2 in that order. All right. See, that's not too bad. Like, I didn't love Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I loved Ant-Man, so I'm feeling right now that if that firmly falls in the middle of that, I'll be pretty happy. So that's good. That gives me a little hope. But again, Jonathan Majors praise. Yes, Star Warsy, interesting to me. Interesting because to hear that an Ant-Man movie is Star Warsy, that's crazy. But it's a good kind of crazy. It's one that I'm pretty excited for. So let's see, man. I can't wait for Monday. I'm so excited. And I think John's going to be there too. So you might be seeing a little flick pick collaboration once again. You know, we love doing that. We love doing first reactions together. So we'll probably do a first reaction together, if nothing else. And then we'll do our review. I'm excited, guys. Listen, I want to say thanks for being here. An hour and 30 minutes on a Tuesday. Super chats, likes. Did we hit 100 likes? What do we get here? Where are we at? 102, baby. 102. Dealing with my nonsense. Thank you for that. You guys are great. This was a great discussion. We got people saying bye. Thanks for being here. And stay tuned because we've had a couple of fan castings today. I'm working on a fan casting for the DCU for that upcoming universe. I think that'll be a fun video. And I've been promising my best of the decade for a while. I've got that almost finished. I don't know what day I'm putting that out yet. Possibly tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see where we're at. But Mike said I disliked as I disliked as usual. Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much. Engagement. Thank you, Mike. Oh man, this is why I love you guys. Thanks for being here. Stay tuned. I think I'm going to have a YouTube short posted this evening, probably around 7:30. Really special little countdown for you. And then we're going to have my best of the decade, my fan casting video, my Magic Mike review, season 4 that I'm working on, and possibly a little live stream on Sunday before the Super Bowl. Okay, a little Super Bowl hype video. We'll get pumped. Maybe we'll talk some football. Maybe we'll talk some commercials that I'm expecting. And who knows, by that point, maybe we've already seen a commercial or two. Thank you guys for being here. Leave your goodbyes. I'll play you out down below. And thanks to StreamYard. There we go. Thanks to StreamYard for actually working today. That was pretty cool. I'm going to go say hello to my wife. And I'm going to go pet my dogs because I love them. You guys the best. See you soon. I think he has to work that day, unfortunately. The kid actually got a job, so that was good. I'm not sure. I'll get my Disney check. I'll get that eventually. Got my top 5 in YouTube short form, so go to my shorts page. Might do a bottom 5 too.